Right. Well, greetings, everyone. This is Philip, and this is the Friends of Patterson Park mindfulness session. And I'm excited to welcome my friend Maritza today to join us in a little bit of mindfulness practice, as well as some discussion and discovery about what brings Maritza into mindfulness and that interest as well. So Maritza, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for the invitation to be here.
Yeah, very glad that you're here and excited to learn a little bit about your approach to the practice, and also offerings that you have that maybe people could join in on as well.
Awesome.
So to begin, maybe we can begin with a little practice, and the intention is people who are watching can join along with us to kind of create a little bit of community. And the invitations I'll be doing is mindfulness practice, which can it always helps me to name or offer a definition of mindfulness. I think there's many out there, but intentionally coming back to the present moment, and beginning to notice what's happening moment to moment in the experience, and also really greeting that with a accepting quality, instead of blocking damming up the stream. Really letting the stream flow is one way to think of it, that accepting quality. And so I'll just be inviting us in this short little, maybe 5 to 7 minute practice to begin to notice the sounds of the moment, breathing coming in and out, body sensations. And this can give us a chance to really arrive here in the present. All right, well, I'll just invite everyone who's joining to find a comfortable position to be. If you're seated, it might be an upright and restful posture. Eyes can either be gazing above or below the screen, or some people allow them to come closed. So whatever feels the most comfortable. One person I practice with said this is a gift to ourselves, so I always like to remember that. This is a little bit of a gift that we get to give ourselves permission to do something nice for ourselves. And so once we're ready, we might allow ourselves to just settle into the present. We'll hear the sound of the bell to start us off. And it often helps me to begin with a few deep breaths, breathing in long and slow, breathing out long and slow. And again, the long, slow breath in, and I like to experiment slowing the breath and smoothing the breath out as it is coming in, and extending the breath as it's going out. And once again, experimenting with slowing the breath down. And when breathing out, slowing down again. And I've heard, if we slow down twice as much, we can notice twice as much. So I might just notice this slowing down of the breath acting as a intentional pause for us to be able to notice what's here. And we might just begin to invite in the present moment experience, just beginning with the sounds of the moment. Wherever one is practicing, might bring that interest and curiosity to what sounds are actually here. And as the sounds come in and go, we can really intend to let them pass as we practice acceptance. And as the river of sounds passes through, we're acting as an observer, perhaps on the shoreline, watching the river flow. And similarly, the breathing as it comes in and out at its own pace can be like a river. And we might begin to notice the stream of air coming in and going out. And really letting it come, letting it go, getting familiar with what the breath is doing. And perhaps that breathing motion might even invite attention into the body as the body is responding to the movements of the breath. And as attention comes into the body, you might just allow the body to be at ease, to give permission to release and unclench. And beginning to, again, with this idea of the river of experience, notice the river of the body experience, changing temperatures, sensations. And again, letting them come, letting them go. And now for the last minute or two of practice, perhaps just being this friendly witness, watching the experience from the shore of whatever arises, knowing there's nothing that needs to be done, just a connection with moment to moment experience. I'll invite all who are joining in to reorient to wherever you are doing your practice. Slowly gazing around the room, taking in. Thanks for practicing with me, Maritza. Great to get to practice mindfulness together.
Yes, thanks. I feel like my voice has to come back. Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just love getting to practice in community. I feel like that's a different experience in some ways. And from everything I hear, it's always encouraged to get to practice in community. So everybody who's joining in, I consider that part of the community and beyond. I sometimes think about all the people all over the world who might be practicing at this moment and cultivating present.
Yeah. And I think what's special too about like having a specific group that, this is reaching the Friends of Patterson Park and whoever's watching kind of locally, that people are taking that responsibility and having that action of just taking the moment to pause, center themselves. And that's what I really get out of practicing with community, is knowing that people around you are doing it and are really being intentional about connecting, about taking that pause. And my work is in mental health. So to me, that means people are taking care of their mental health, and we're doing that in community.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, really good. Well, I'm curious, yeah, about your own interest in it, in the practice. Maybe I sort of think about mindfulness as a muscle that can be strengthened. Um,
Absolutely.
and I know with myself, I've had times where different muscles have been stronger than others and kind of ebbs and flows. So I'm curious about what it was that made you want to kind of strengthen that muscle of mindfulness.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think my journey started working with middle schoolers
Mhm,
and adolescents, like ages 10 to 14. Just noticing that they have really strong emotions and they're supposed to, but
mhm,
not having the tools to really deal with them, process them respectfully, because
mhm,
middle schoolers and preteens and teens are known for their outbursts, are known for their, um, just not wanting to do what you want to do, having their own
mhm,
attitude. But they're supposed to. Developmentally, that's where they are in life. And I think it's our job as adults being able to guide them and help them figure out some tools. And with that age group, it's really tricky to find something that they will pay attention to. But thankfully, I was in Patterson Park and I started going on nature walks with them, using the park, using nature, the boat lake, for walks, and taking that time in our afternoon to be mindful. And then I realized that not only was this helping them, it was helping me as an educator, it was helping me as an individual. And it was
mhm,
something that we almost were taking advantage of, being in the park, just being there and not noticing all of the benefits that it could give us if we took that time to pause. So I think that's where it started. And then I just wanted to practice more so that I could share more with the students, with parents, with other educators. And I think that's where I am today. Just, you have to keep your own practice, because you can only share as much as or as deep as you go in your mindfulness practice and meditations.
mhm,
So I think in this line of work, we have to keep our practice going so that we can keep sharing more.
mhm,
Um, but it started with heavy emotions, and that's still where, like, my go-to, if I'm having a heavy day, a stressful day filled with emotions or not, mindfulness is my go-to to just take a deep breath. I often like put a hand on my chest, and so that I can feel that connection of, taking a deep breath, you feel your chest rise, your shoulders rise, and it just really brings you back to you and the present moment. So those deep breaths are really what uh, just give you that reset, and it takes like 5 seconds.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that, especially in our culture. It's all about speed, right? So just one or two breaths doesn't really take that long, and it can really have some big effects.
Hmm.
I've been really noticing that, um, as if I can really lengthen and slow down one or two of these breaths, it's it does shift some things for me. Um, so yeah, well, along that seems like a great entrance in is through the working with teenagers. And yeah, what have you found? Because maybe some people who are listening have kids or young people, that maybe they say, "Oh, this could maybe benefit my family a little bit." What have you found has been kind of an easiest way, or kind of a starting point to kind of introduce this to people?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a starting point could be like a nature walk or going outside. That's something that doesn't cost anything. And if you're in Baltimore, if you're following the Friends of Patterson Park, you know how beautiful of a resource we have in Southeast Baltimore. So going outside, and on that walk, what you can do is tap into your senses and use your five senses. Your eyes, you ask your kids, you're walking around identifying, what do you see in this moment? You use your ears. What do you hear? And in Patterson Park, you hear lots of different stuff going on, the
Mhm.
birds, the dogs, people, police sirens. You got a little bit of everything. Um, what do you smell? This is a great time of the year to tap into that too.
Mhm.
What are you feeling? What do you taste? And then with taste, a lot of times the students that I work with, they don't taste anything, but I also use that as an opportunity to check in physically, like maybe you're thirsty, and it's an opportunity to really see that you need to drink some more water,
Mhm.
or something else. And so using your five senses on a walk is a really easy like go-to for working with kids, for having that family time. And then another like exercise you could do is like a rainbow scavenger hunt in nature. And you're walking around and looking for the colors of the rainbow.
Mhm.
We use Roy G. Biv as the easy acronym
Mhm.
to remember the colors:
Mhm.
red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and indigo. Although I've been told that indigo isn't a part of the rainbow anymore, or like Roy G. Biv. So I don't know. I guess I'm old school in including indigo. But right now you can find all those colors outside too: red, orange, yellow. The leaves are changing color. You'll see those flowers out. And even if they're teens, it's something to look for. It's something to do while you're on the walk. And it's a great way to engage and just really appreciate everything that's around us.
Mhm. Yeah, I could see maybe even somebody who wants a little bit of competition or something in their life, like that. I know as a teen I was like that in some ways, and how many colors can you find?
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, that invitation is really inviting us to connect in with the present moment.
Hmm.
Uh, and I just think about this one quote that, they asked a mindfulness teacher, "Why do you practice?" And they said, "So when I walk to the market every day, I'll see the flowers blooming." And this kind of points to, well, what happens if we don't do this practice? And it just shows how easy it is to kind of skip through life, skip over life, and all of the
Absolutely.
amazingness of it.
Yeah. And that's our rhythm. Generally speaking, we're just going from to-do list to to-do list, sprinting through the day. And these are the kinds of comments and exercises that we do in my groups. We talk about where we can find that 1 minute, those 5 minutes of self-love, self-care that include a deep breath, that include a quick scavenger hunt or using your five senses. Because, like we said before, it can really just take 10 seconds. If you have
Mhm.
1 minute, you can take 1 minute to just sit and connect with yourself. If you have like 3 minutes, you can play your favorite song. It's
Mhm.
really about like squeezing in, finding those little pockets where you can do something for yourself and connect to the moment. Um, I also call it playing hide and seek. Like it's all around you, and your job is to find it. And
Mm.
it doesn't have to take a half hour sit in silence. It can
Mm.
really take 10 seconds of just looking out your window, not looking at your computer screen, and seeing something that's right in front of you.
Mhm. Oh, really great. Well, it's so fun to explore these with you, Maritza. Hopefully, people who listen in enjoy this as well and are inspired to want to take that pause and see what's all around, especially in nature. So
Mhm.
glad to hear these perspectives. And yeah, just to close out, if there are there any offerings or ways people can find your work, or anything you would want to point people towards?
Oh, sure. I upload meditation, like 5 minute short meditations. They're usually bilingual on
Mhm.
my Instagram, and it's mindful y radiante. I'll write it out, or let me see. I'll try to, I don't know if would it work putting it in the chat?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. Because it's kind of a play on English and Spanish. It's not mindfully, but it's mindful y radiante. And I just use that Instagram page to promote whatever I'm offering. Sometimes I'm offering bilingual mindfulness practice in Patterson Park.
Mhm.
Um, right now, I have a weekly group with Hopkins Centro Sol. That one's in Spanish. I am planning a retreat in November that's going to be like a Zumba and mindfulness retreat.
Mm.
That's going to be to move your body and calm your mind. That's going to be fun. So yeah, if you follow the Instagram, you will see those updates, and I upload like 5 minute bilingual meditation pauses so that you can squeeze those into your day.
Oh, really great. Well, thanks so much, Maritza, for your time and sharing your offerings. And I hope people join in with your work, and for the benefit of all the beings that are out there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks to Friends of Patterson Park for making the space for us today. And everybody have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.
Bye.